Hey friends, welcome to the Makings of Her, where we sit down and talk about our views on money, relationships, and self discovery. I am your host, Selma, also known as Bitch I'm Budgeting, and here we share our experiences and make the uncomfortable conversations a little more comfortable. So, before I bring anyone else on, I thought it would be important just to share my journey, what I've been through, how I started, and where I see this going. Let's jump right in. So I was born in the 90s and born in Brooklyn, New York, and born into the foster care system. That was my start into the world. At 2 days old, I was put into the foster care system. And by 4 days old, I was placed with a loving, amazing family who I just consider my family now. My foster mother is just my mother. My birth mother was addicted to drugs, and all of her children were put into foster care. I am the last of six kids, and the experiences we all experience in the foster care system is really different. I was fortunate enough to be placed in a loving, amazing family. That was not the same for the rest of my siblings. But what I thought was so crazy, and it's still crazy to this day, is that even though my life started out crazy and in like a tragic situation, the day I came to my foster care family, they celebrated me, and that was my birthday. So I always tell people that I have two birthdays. I was born January 22nd, aqua season, but also I have a second birthday, and my second birthday is January 26th. And it was the day that I came into their lives. My mother still celebrates this. She still, to this day, and I am 30 something years old, still says, Happy second birthday. And my sister does also. It's just like, it's my birthday. So even though my start was crazy, my journey has been crazy ride also. But look where I'm at. I'm on the other side of it. And I know that's not the same for a lot of people. So I'm always grateful. So born in Brooklyn, New York, in the foster care system, amazing family that I still love and live with. And now let's talk a little about like the money journey because yeah, we're just gonna skip over all the other lives, all the years, and we're just gonna get straight into the money journey. When I started my debt-free journey, I was making $37,000 before taxes as a teacher assistant. I'm currently in income hitting almost $170,000, almost $200,000. And it's like, girl, how? It wasn't anything magical. It wasn't anything crazy. It was legitimately hard work and falling into entrepreneurship. I will always say I fell into entrepreneurship. And I guess I'm sort of kind of like a mini financial influencer, but y'all, I'm really just y'all bestie who knows a little bit about money, and that's all it is. So I started off with $37,000 in income, and my debt was $41,000. And I paid off $41,000 in 2.5 years by side hustling, managing my money, understanding my spending habits, understanding who I was, but creating a reason as to why I wanted to be on this journey in the first place. A lot of us say we want to do the financial journey, but the reality is sometimes we're not ready. And it's okay. Sometimes you just need to sit on the sidelines and watch other people do it for a while. And then when it's your turn to jump in, jump in. And in 2019, it was my turn to jump in. It was really the conversation with myself and just saying, you want more for yourself. You deserve more for yourself. And you have to actually just go out and get it. And for me, it started out with just listing my debt, understanding what I had to pay off, and then tackling it. It was credit card debt, a car, and the main reason why I did that is because I wanted to buy a condo. And we're in the condo, guys. We're in the condo, guys. We're in the condo, guys. So not only did I pay off $41,000 worth of debt, I saved $30,000 to be able to afford to be in this space that I'm in now. And if it is nothing, it is God and hard work. And it's been a journey, and it's been one where I have been able to discover myself over the past 3 years and really challenge myself mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. And when you're doing it single, because I am single, when you're doing it single, it's not easy. You don't have that person in your corner kind of patting you on the back, telling you you're doing a good job. You don't have that person to say like, "Okay, like, yeah, baby, like I understand you got this." I had to pat myself on the back. I had to cry myself sometimes, right, by myself. I had to tough it out. But I will always say the journey was not easy. The debt-free journey was not easy, but it was so worth it. Like, it was worth it. I would not wanna go through it again, but I see and feel what it's like to be on the other side and how amazing it is, and this is why I advocate for people to also experience it, go through it, understand that there's gonna be obstacles, there's gonna be barriers, life is gonna happen, but push through it and see what you can do. Like, I stood 10 toes down on my debt. I wrote it down. It was myself saying like, "Yo, you got yourself here. Now it's time to get yourself out." And it wasn't an easy conversation, but it had to be one of the most important conversations I could have had with myself. It was saying, "Selma, you put yourself in this situation. How are you going to get out of it? Why do you want to get out of it? What's the reason?" Because we hear and see a lot of people saying, build wealth, generational wealth. That I wasn't there at that moment. The reality was I wanted to have more money for myself. I wanted to be able to utilize my money to do different things, and the debt-free journey allowed me to do that. And that was my self-discovery these past 3 years. It was hard. It hurt. Physically, mentally, emotionally, it hurt, but it was most definitely absolutely worth it. And while we're talking about it, as I continue to elevate myself in this financial space, dating just seems to get a little bit harder. It just seems to be a little bit ghetto out here for your girl. And it's hard. It's hard to find someone who has that same mindset that you have, who has the same vision that you have, who understands when you're working hard and what you're going towards, that it's necessary and not making excuses as to why I can't do it, but proving that I can do it. So as I still navigate through my single space, I go with a sense of discernment now and making sure that there are things that I know I need. And I don't feel bad about that. Because when I first started my financial journey, it was hard to say, like, I deserve to be on this journey. And I had to prove that to myself. But after doing that, I also realized I deserve to be with somebody who understands my vision. And I deserve to be with somebody whose vision I can understand. And we share the same aspects and we can grow together and there's not a conflict, because that was one of the things that I experienced in one of my relationships, is that our visions did not match and it was always a head-butting situation, and that's not something I want to have to go through. I don't want to explain why I want to move to a better area so where I can raise my children. I feel like I don't want to have to explain that. I want to be able to say that and my partner say, "Yeah, babe, you're right. Like, I get it." And I want my partner to be able to say something and I can say, "Yeah, babe, you're right. Let's go after that." So, as I navigate through this single space that I'm in, I'm learning to just breathe and take a step back and have patience. And I think if that's one thing God is teaching me right now, is that you just gotta have patience, Selma. Like, the things are going to come, but they're going to come when you're not looking for them. The debt-free journey came out of nowhere. The love will come out of nowhere. You just gotta stop looking for it. So I'm excited to see how I go forth in the next year, but also I'm just excited for this space that I'm in, the peace that I have, the comfort that I have, not only with being single, but being financially well better than I was years ago, being able to have more money to myself, getting paid and not having to pay people, having checks come in and not and it's my money and I could decide to invest it or save it or buy something for myself, it's nice to not have hands in my pockets before the check even hits. It's nice to just not have hands in my pockets. So I'm excited about that. So the next steps for this is that I want to pour into women through my business, right? We are powerful. We can do anything. And that is what I want to highlight. I want to highlight all women, the ones winning, the ones coming up, the change makers on all level. This is going to be a fun ride. And what I know will be a consistent, honest, open, game-changing conversations for all of us. We are amazing. We are smart. We as women can damn near do everything. So I want to highlight all of that and also highlight the not so good moments because I think we live in a world where all we see is highlight reels, but the reality is we all go through the lowlights. We just show them differently. So that's a little bit about me. I can't wait to see how this series goes and just pour into women because sometimes I think we just need that. We need a lot of pouring into. Some of us need that talk. We need to be able to just sit and listen and take in the information and then utilize it. But the conversations need to be honest. They need to be transparent. They need to be raw. They need to tell you what it is that you may feel like you're the only one going through it. But reality is, a lot of us have gone through it or we are currently going through it. And together we can grow through it. So, the makings of her is all things women, our voices, our perspectives, our wins, our lessons, and our growth. So get in, friend. We're making the uncomfortable conversations a little more comfortable.